red, and the moon glows a sickly yellow. There are houses all around, yet the area feels empty and devoid of life. Everything in this place seems so wrong. Somewhere in this twisted dimension, we see six heavily armed teenagers who are currently running for their lives. Behind them, dark figures follow closely, chasing them without rest. The female lead, Ashlyn, turns around and calls out to know what the time is. One of the boys, Logan, replies that they have 8 minutes left, just a little longer. As they sprint for their dear lives, they look forward to their destination, the graveyard. It's close. Seeing it boosts their stamina, and they continue running. Ashlyn makes it through first, and she gets ready to slam the red button while she waits for everyone else to run through. Tyler comes in last and shouts for her to close the gate. Immediately, she slams the button, and the gates begin to close slowly. All six of them stand tense, weapons ready, as they wait for their fate to be decided. Moments later, they catch glimpses of sharp teeth and dark shadows speeding toward them, and then the gate slams shut. Soon after, loud bangs follow as the creatures on the other side try to get in. Everyone collectively releases the breaths they've been holding, and Ashlyn suggests that they all head to the bus, just to be safe. Once they get inside the bus, all six of them finally catch their breath as they slump into comfortable seats. Tyler comments that it was a close call, and Ashlyn leans over to massage her foot. The banging sounds at the gate suddenly cease, and an eerie silence follows. Tyler casually tells the others that the creatures probably gave up, but suddenly he sits up in alarm, and so does everyone else because they are not alone. Somehow, one of the creatures has managed to get over the gate and slither its way to the school bus. A look of horror crosses all their faces as they watch in disbelief when the creature smiles at them. How could such a thing happen? With each step the monster takes forward, they take 2 steps back. The 6 of them huddle together, and Ashlyn calls out for someone to check if they can open the back door. A reply comes back that the door is blocked by another bus. Logan begins to cry, asking what they should do because they are cornered with nowhere to escape. Aiden, acting like a complete douchebag, suggests that they all die, and as if on cue, the monster lunges for them with outstretched claws. Logan's wristwatch starts beeping, and all 6 of them disappear. The monster's claw swipes at air, and it looks around, confused. Ashlyn wakes up panting and trembling in her room, letting out a shaky sigh of relief and muttering that it was way too close. She picks up her phone as it pings with messages from the others. In the group chat, Logan asks if everyone is okay because that was a close call. Taylor replies that physically she's okay, and her twin texts that mentally he's not okay. Ben tactically changes the topic by asking if anyone finished their homework. Ashlyn turns to her desk to find a pile of unfinished assignments, which only worsens her mood. She plops down under her blankets to muffle her frustrated scream. The next morning, we see a sleep-deprived Ashlyn waiting for the school bus, looking totally unapproachable. 2 of her group members are already on the bus, and Aiden says hello. He comments that last night was really rough, and then informs her that he finished his homework and asks if she'd like to copy. She looks at him in disbelief, noting that his energy never ceases. Then she collects it and thanks him. When they get to school, they head to class, and their teacher, Mr. Thomas, starts to say good morning. However, he pauses mid-greeting as he sees that all 3 of them look gloomy, with heavy eye bags. With a worried expression, he wonders if they stayed up all night. Recently, he has noticed that all the kids from that group project look like this every morning. Before, Ashlyn and the others would greet him excitedly each morning, but now they don't even reply when he greets them. They just mope around, looking half asleep and slumping in their seats with heavy eye bags. Pushing aside his worry for his students, Mr. Thomas addresses the class and tells everyone to get their homework out Several hours later, the sound of the bell wakes Ashlyn up, and she realizes that she has slept through class again. She looks around and discovers that the others had also fallen asleep. It worries her that at this rate, they are all going to fail. But there's not much they can do about it, considering their situation. She begins to pack up her things to head out, and the others gather around her desk, looking uncomfortable. Aiden then informs her that they will all be eating lunch together to talk about, stuff. She gives him a dry reply that it's all right. Whenever Aiden uses the word stuff, what he means is those creatures, the phantoms. Ashlyn has a feeling that this won't go well. When they enter the cafeteria, the place is filled with the noise and excited chatter of other students. The six of them find a corner to themselves and set out their lunches before them. Logan and Taylor immediately dig in, but Tyler and Ben don't even bother to touch their food. Just as Ashlyn had thought, the air is tense and awkward. Suddenly, Tyler breaks the silence. He suggests that they all go back to Savannah. This catches everyone's attention, and they turn to hear more. Logan reminds him that they all agreed it is too risky to go back. Tyler says it doesn't matter and asks if they are just supposed to let things stay the way they are. Ashlyn replies that she'd rather be semi-stuck than permanently stuck. In a heated moment, Tyler confronts her, arguing that if she had been honest from the start, they might not be in this situation at all. Ashlyn starts to explain her reasons, but Aiden interjects, pointing out that Tyler is one to talk, when he himself had brushed it off as a prank and walked away initially. He adds that even if Ashlyn had tried to tell Tyler, he likely wouldn't have listened because of his attitude. This only fuels Tyler's anger, and he slams his hands on the table, standing up as he speaks. He says that whether he would have believed Ashlyn or not, she should have said something. Now they are stuck in some demonic dimension, running away from flesh-eating deadly creatures. As he speaks, his voice increases in tempo, and other students begin to turn around to look. Tyler vents his frustration as he mentions that he has lost count of how many near-death experiences he has had, and nobody in their group has slept in days. They can't even tell their parents. Having had enough, Ben bangs his hand on the table, stunning Tyler into silence. Ben gestures for him to keep quiet, and Tyler reluctantly takes his seat again. In a much calmer tone, he asks that if they don't go back to Savannah, where this cycle began, then what else are they supposed to do? Everyone looks away uncomfortably, not having a solution to the problem. As annoying as Tyler's outburst was, Ashlyn feels like she understands him. If they go back, they might find out what's happening and how to escape, or they could make things much worse. Everyone quietly wonders if they should risk it. Let's dial it back to 2 weeks ago before this madness began. 2 weeks ago, Ashlyn had been in her room practicing some ballet poses when her dad knocked on the door and strolled in to inform her that the bus had arrived. His sudden appearance startled her, causing her to trip and crash to the floor. For a moment, he stands at the door, watching his clumsy daughter. Then he bursts into laughter. Feeling slightly annoyed and looking up at him from the ground, Ashlyn asks him what he wants, and he tells her that the school bus is down the street. She realizes she isn't exactly ready, so she dashes around to make last-minute preparations. Meanwhile, her dad remains at the door, watching her rush around, and he casually informs her that there is coffee on the counter if she wants any. On her way out, Ashlyn grabs a cup and passes by her mom, who is also running late. She waves goodbye, and her mother tells her to have a good day before she shuts the door. As Ashlyn hurries down the front porch, she mutters to herself that she should have set her alarm sooner, and as she races towards the bus, she can't shake the uneasy feeling that today isn't going to go well.